The people who wake up every morning with fresh money in their bank accounts, they aren't necessarily lucky, and they almost never have some genius world-changing idea. What they have is a system. They've managed to completely decouple their time from their money. So in this explainer, we're unpacking a curated list of 20 physical and digital systems drawn straight from our source material that do exactly this.
All right, let's jump right into section 1. Stop trading time for money.
Now, before we even look at the systems themselves, we actually need a fundamental mindset shift. Our sources highlight this fascinating pattern. Almost nobody gets rich with a brilliant, flashy idea. They get rich with the boring idea that nobody else wanted to do. Think about this comparison of Daniel versus Alex. Daniel represents what we call the active trap. He spent years hunting for the perfect idea, a viral app, a unique product, and he burned through his savings competing against thousands of other super ambitious people, effectively just creating another highly stressful job for himself, where he was still trading his hours for dollars. Now contrast that with Alex, who represents the system. Alex didn't invent a single thing. Instead, he bought a small, boring laundromat that had already been running for 15 years, and then he just added a couple of vending machines and a nearby gym. By avoiding the flashy stuff and just acquiring proven cash flow, Alex's money literally comes in while he sleeps. He actively chose a playing field with almost zero competition.
Moving right along to section 2. Build once, sell infinite. So this is where we start exploring digital leverage, and the absolute magic here is the concept of zero marginal cost. Let's look at our first 5 systems. 1. PDF guides, which you can easily build with AI and sell on platforms like WAP. 2. Canva and Notion template shops. 3. Digital swipe files. These are just collections of proven hooks or scripts for a really specific niche. 4. Mini courses. And 5. Paid workshop recordings. Now, what do all 5 of these digital assets have in common? You build them exactly once. That's it. There are 0 manufacturing costs and 0 shipping costs. Whether you sell 10 of them or 10,000 of them, the effort you put in up front remains completely static. It is, for sure, infinite digital leverage.
Which brings us to section 3, automate your sales funnels.
Okay, so you have this digital asset, right? But how do you actually sell the thing without going back to trading your time? You decouple your time from the sales process by building systems that act as a 24/7 sales team. Here are systems 6 through 10. 6. Evergreen YouTube videos that just keep attracting search traffic for years after you post them. 7. Search optimized content across various platforms. 8. Automated email sequences. 9. DM comment triggers. This is where someone comments a specific word on your post and a bot automatically sends them a purchase link right then and there. And 10. Built-in pricing upgrades. This is like when a customer buys a $17 guide and they're automatically emailed a special offer for a $97 course months later. All 5 of these systems trap attention and convert sales entirely asynchronously. You set the whole shebang up once and they quite literally sell while you are fast asleep.
All right, section 4, renting physical assets.
Let's pivot away from the internet for a second and step into the real world. We're moving from digital leverage to physical infrastructure leverage. And here is a super crucial takeaway from our sources. The ugliest, most uncomfortable products often have the absolute lowest competition. Let's walk through systems 11 through 15. 11. Portable restrooms. 12. Vending machines and ATMs. 13. Heavy equipment rental. 14. Self-storage units. And 15. Parking lots. The shared underlying mechanic in every single one of these physical systems is this. You absorb a high initial cost one time, and then you turn around and charge dozens or even hundreds of users for temporary access to that asset or space. You aren't actually selling anything. You are just renting out something that nobody wants to buy permanently.
To really wrap our heads around the massive scale of this infrastructure leverage, just think about portable restrooms. It's a market valued at over $20 billion. Literally nobody wants to own them, but every single construction site and outdoor event desperately needs them. Or consider self-storage. Nearly 1 in 8 U.S. households uses a unit. They act as silent infrastructure, or even as makeshift warehouses for small e-commerce sellers. Whether it's toilets or storage units, both of these systems solve completely inevitable modern problems by just offering temporary access to space.
Next up, section 5, boring recurring contracts.
This is the final category of our 20 systems. Here, we see how incredibly mundane, everyday services build incredible wealth, not through flashy innovation, but through automated renewals and high switching costs. Rounding out our list, here are systems 16 through 20. 16. Commercial window cleaning. 17. Pressure washing. 18. Small business bookkeeping. 19 pest control, and 20 commercial cleaning. Now, at first glance, these just look like regular jobs, right? But the true power here lies not in the service itself, but in the recurrence of the contract. Smart operators in these fields don't run around chasing one-off clients. They sign annual, automatically renewing contracts with corporate office buildings and restaurant chains. The peace of mind for the client translates directly into predictable, completely uncoupled wealth for the owner.
What's wild here is how this underlying architecture spans both the digital and physical worlds. Take digital recurring systems like private communities and Whoop memberships and stack them up against physical specialization, like commercial plumbing for restaurants or electricians specifically installing EV chargers. They look totally different on the surface, but they utilize the exact same mechanics, capturing recurring revenue or charging premium rates in a highly specific, very urgent niche. You essentially make yourself irreplaceable to a very specific subset of people, and you just stop competing on price entirely.
Now, I absolutely love this next stat from the sources. 95%. That is the 5-year survival rate of U.S. laundromats. Compare that to the massive failure rate of trendy new restaurants. Laundromats generate an average of $150,000 annually per location. And why is that? Because they offer consistent, unchanging utility instead of trendy, fleeting excitement. People are always going to need clean clothes, completely regardless of the economy or whatever the latest app craze is.
And that brings us to a really massive strategic shortcut highlighted in the source material. Step 1, avoid starting from scratch. Step 2, buy an existing business with proven cash flow. Step 3, utilize proven service franchises. Look, you do not have to invent a system. Businesses with solid recurring revenue tend to sell for about 3 to 5 times their annual income. When you buy an existing pest control route or a service franchise, you are basically buying an instruction manual and a stream of cash flow that is already flowing. You dramatically reduce your startup risk.
Finally, Section 6. Consistency beats exciting ideas. This is the ultimate lesson, the thread that really unites all 20 systems we've explored today. As the author Morgan Housel puts it, people underestimate the power of simple things that repeat consistently because they chase excitement instead of consistency. Guys, this is the secret right here. Real wealth is almost never built on a sudden flash of genius or by chasing the next viral trend. It's built by executing something totally boring and unglamorous better than anyone else, with a level of patience and consistency that, frankly, most people simply do not have.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one big, provocative question to apply to your very next project. Does this idea pay me once, or does it pay me every single month? The next time you're evaluating a new opportunity, use this as your ultimate filter. Ask yourself how you can step off the treadmill of training hours for dollars and start building a system that just quietly hums along in the background. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I really hope this changes how you look at the boring, unglamorous systems all around you.